GPT-5 is finally here. I am lucky enough to have been testing it over the last week, and yes, it is truly an incredible model. Let me just break down everything you need to know about this model. So here's the blog post, our smartest, fastest, and most useful model yet with built-in thinking that puts expert level intelligence in everyone's hand. Now, the first thing you're going to notice about this model is it is a hybrid model. It has both thinking and non-thinking versions built into the same exact model. And in fact, they said they're deprecating all of the former models. So that includes 4.0, 4.1, 4.5, the O family of models. Kind of sad. 4.0 was an incredible model. So definitely a little heavy-hearted because I did really love the 4.0 model for the vast majority of my use cases. Here it says state-of-the-art performance in coding, math, writing, health, visual perception, and more. It is a unified system that knows when to respond quickly and when to think longer to provide expert-level responses. Now, let me show you something really cool. So here we have GPT-5 thinking, and if I ask it, tell me a 1,000-word story, as soon as I hit enter, what you're gonna see is this get a quick answer. And if I click that, it's going to essentially short circuit the thinking process and just start outputting. And so that's what we're seeing here. So very cool feature. If it misinterprets the amount of reasoning it needs to put towards your prompt, you can just go ahead and click that button. And the amazing thing, it's available to all users, including free users. GPT-5 is available to everybody. Plus subscribers get more usage. Pro subscribers getting access to GPT-5 Pro, a version with extended reasoning for even more comprehensive and accurate answers. Here it says GPT-5 is a unified system, and for harder problems, a real-time router that quickly decides which to use based on conversation type, complexity, tool needs, and your explicit intent. If you say, think hard about this, it will go ahead and use that longer thinking. The router is continuously trained on real signals, including when users switch models, preference rates for responses, and measured correctness improving over time. There are also 3 versions of GPT-5. We have the standard one, we have mini, and nano. Once usage limits are reached, a mini version of each model handles remaining queries. In the near future, we plan to integrate these capabilities into a single model. And OpenAI really touted not only GPT-5's ability to excel at the benchmarks, but also its ability to accomplish real world tasks. And I think that's really where we're going to see it excel. And of course, it is an excellent coding model. I've tested it thoroughly on coding, and it really passes most of my tests with flying colors. And specifically, they call out complex front-end generation, and I have seen this. It actually knows design. It actually puts together really beautiful front ends and debugging larger repositories. So it has a 400,000 token context window, which is larger than all previous OpenAI models. It has a much better understanding of spacing, typography, and white space. And so that is really nice. And when Sam Altman said that we are in the fast fashion era of SaaS applications, this is kind of what he meant. It is just so easy to spin up an application for whatever you need in the moment. Here are some demos they provided of GPT-5's work. Here is Jumping Ball Runner. I've not played this. Let's see. Okay, very simplistic. I don't really understand the point of this game. It's very simple, but fine. Here's some pixel art. Okay, so we can draw in it. We can change the colors. A little bit laggy, but okay. They also provide the prompts down here. Here's a typing game. So typing speed race. Let's start. Let's see how fast I can type. Coffee, type, number, island, robust, gold, Mars, art, tempo, lazy, desert, word, chapter. I won't make you watch this anymore. Okay, so 90% accuracy. All right, drum simulator. Let's see. All right, that's really cool. And lo-fi visualizer. That's quite loud. Okay. Time to stop that. Next, they also said it's especially good at creative writing and expression. And it's really hard to actually test that, to know what that means. So you can read it. If it looks good to you, great. And I've tested a little bit of creative writing. It's still not great at jokes or humor in general, but it's fantastic at creative writing. But again, that's just my opinion. And the sponsor of today's video is Box, and they ran their own GPT-5 evaluations against Box-related use cases. So let me show you that right now. So look at this. This is GPT-5 versus GPT 4.1 Enterprise Metadata Extraction Evaluation. And it is a significant bump against GPT 4.1. What you're seeing here in purple is GPT-5, 95% large documents, 87% medium, and 90% small documents, basically about a 5 to 8% bump over GPT 4.1. And on average, GPT-5 scores a 90% overall accuracy on this benchmark. That is plus 5 points from 4.1. Box has GPT-5 available right now to use on Box AI Studio. So you can load up all of your enterprise documents into Box and run Q&A on them, analysis. Box is already trusted by over 100,000 enterprise organizations. They are known for enterprise-grade governance, security, and compliance. So whether you're a developer or you just want to extract real value from your documents, use Box AI and give GPT-5 a try right now in Box AI Studio. Thanks again to Box for sponsoring this video. They've been an incredible partner. I'll drop all the links down in the description below. I encourage you to check them out. A fantastic product. We use it at my company. Thanks again. Now back to the video. And it's also really good at health. This is something that I do use AI for all the time. If one of my kids has some health issue, I start asking immediately. If I have a health issue, if I get some results back from the doctor, the first thing I do is load it up into AI and let it tell me what it thinks. Give me just the simple translation of complex doctor's notes or test analysis, and all of that just becomes so much easier to understand when you have AI by your side. The model scores significantly higher than any previous model on Health Bench. This is their own benchmark for health-related assistance. The model also now provides more precise and reliable responses, adapting to the user's context, knowledge level, and geography, enabling it to provide safer and more helpful responses in a wide range of scenarios. It does not replace medical professionals. Think of it as a partner to help you understand results, and I could not emphasize that more. This is the first place I go, but if it's serious, you and me should go to the doctor. All right, let's look at some benchmarks. So first, we have Amy 2025, GPT-5 Pro got 100%. Now, one thing I didn't really like is that they didn't compare it to any competitor models. They only compared it to previous versions of OpenAI's models, but these are strong scores. They should have compared it against other models. So look what I did. I basically took a screenshot of their benchmark graphic from the blog post, and I said, make a chart comparing these benchmarks to competitor models like Grok 4, Gemini 2.5 Pro, and Claude 4.1. And here it goes. Now, the reason it's not really showing up right here, by the way, when I go off of it is because I use dark mode everything, and it just kind of messes with this. So here we go. It's going through its thinking process. It knows my name, of course. It's searching the web for those competitive model results. So found Amy 2025 for these models. Look at this. However, Claude 4's low scores on Amy without extended thinking seems unexpected. Maybe these numbers are for different settings. Okay. So on and on and on, doing a lot of searches. Very nice. Very nice to see it actually go through its chain of thought, even though it is a summarized chain of thought. Also using tools inline, very impressive. So it says it's done thinking. Now it's analyzing. Hopefully it's gonna output a chart for me. And there it is, chart added. Very nice, look at that. Okay, so we have GPT-5 Pro, 100%. We have no tools, 96.7, GPT-5 with Python, 99.6. And if we go all the way down, here's Grok 4 at 90%, Gemini 2.5 Pro at 88%, and Claude Opus 4.1 at 78%. And checking it for accuracy, it does look correct. So very cool that it can put that together. Here's Frontier Math, Tier 1 to 3, Expert Level Math, GPT-5 Pro, 32.1%. As compared to ChatGPT Agent, 27.4%, O4 Mini, 19.3%. Here's Harvard MIT Mathematics Tournament, another 100% for GPT-5 Pro. GPQA Diamond, this is PhD level science questions. Again, let me copy paste. I'm gonna say do the same for this benchmark. Here we go. So here's 89.4 as compared to Grok, 88.1, Gemini 2.5 Pro, 86.4, and Claude Opus 4.1 at 80.9. Here's Humanity's Last Exam. Same thing, only comparisons against OpenAI models, but that's okay. We have 42% for GPT-5 Pro. This is with Python plus search with block lists. That's to make sure that it doesn't actually just go search for Humanity's Last Exam's results. Here's ChatGPT Agent, browser plus computer plus terminal at 41.6. So imagine when GPT-5 Pro gets that. Now look at this, GPT-5 Pro with Python plus search and block list, 42%, and beating it, Grok 4 Heavy with tools, 44.4%. very, very close, but still Grok 4 won. All right, now for coding, SweBench verified, we have a 74.9% with GPT-5 as compared to 30% with GPT-4o. And Aider Polyglot, 88%. Here's TauBench for function calling. We could see a very nice improvement against O3. Here's college level visual problem solving, a slight improvement on O3. MMMU Pro, again, a slight improvement on O3, and Video MMMU, another very slight improvement. Here's the benchmark for economically important tasks. GPT-5 beats out ChatGPT Agent, which is great to see, and handily defeats O3. And it is also fast. With all of my testing, I noticed that immediately. It was very high quality, but also lightning fast to get me replies. So this is O3 right here, and you can see the number of output tokens on the x-axis as compared to accuracy on the y-axis. And the lighter pink up here is GPT-5. GPT-5 is also much less likely to hallucinate, 45% less likely to contain a factual error than GPT-4o. And when thinking, GPT-5's responses are 80% less likely to contain a factual error than OpenAI's O3. Here are the hallucination rates where lower is better, pink, GPT-5, and black, O3. We can see a substantial decrease in hallucinations. It also decreased its deceptiveness. It communicates more honestly about its actions and capabilities, especially for tasks which are impossible, underspecified, or missing key tools. In order to achieve a high reward during training, reasoning models may learn to lie about successfully completing a task or be overly confident about an uncertain answer. That is crazy. But now GPT-5 more accurately recognizes when tasks can't be completed. Now, they just talked about that during the International Math Olympiads, that rather than just putting something out, the model that got gold in the International Math Olympiads would just simply say, I don't know the answer, which is the right answer if you don't actually know it. Don't try to answer it if you don't know it. So here's an example. This is one of a missing image. So consider the following chart. This is assuming it doesn't have the image. This is O3. What time does the blue curve cross the black curve in subplot A? So we can't actually see the image because it's not there. And it tries to answer it, but it shouldn't have because it doesn't have the image. And now GPT-5, I can't see the chart you're referring to. Can you re-upload the image? It's also safer, apparently. That's not something that I really care about, but of course, I think the world should care about it. So there's a situation in which the intent of the user is actually important to take into consideration of whether it should actually give the answer or not. And so that's what they're talking about here. In the past, ChatGPT relied primarily on refusal-based safety training. Based on the user's prompt, the model should either comply or refuse. That works well for explicitly malicious prompts. It can struggle to handle situations where the user's intent is unclear or information could be used in a benign or malicious way. So they introduce a new form of safety training, safe completions, which teaches the model to give the most helpful answer where possible while still staying within safety boundaries. So it's a more nuanced approach. It might give you half an answer. It might give you an answer depending on how you ask it, which seems a little backwards to me because that's just going to train humans to prompt in different ways and get the answer they want. I really think if somebody really wants to do something malicious, they're going to get it out of the model. Pliny the Prompter is a great example. He can get anything out of these models. And next, style and sycophancy. One thing that I really tested for in GPT-5 is sycophancy, and I will say it performed incredible. When I gave it a bad idea, like a shit on a stick business, it said, hold on, maybe think about this. Let's test this idea before really diving in and spending your entire net worth on a shit on a stick business. They also say GPT-5 is significantly better at instruction following, and we see a corresponding improvement in its abilities to follow custom instructions. So detailed, very detailed instructions, it will follow well. They're also launching 4 preset personalities for GPT-5. The 4 initial options: cynic, robot, listener, and nerd. Which one are you going to use? Let me know. And they also are releasing GPT-5 Pro, which I have not tested, I don't think. I've only tested GPT-5 and GPT-5 Thinking. I'm not sure if Thinking is the Pro model or not. It's a little confusing. For the most challenging complex tasks, we are also releasing GPT-5 Pro, replacing O3 Pro, a variant of GPT-5 Pro that thinks for even longer, using scaled but efficient parallel test time compute. So this is kind of like Grok's heavy mode. GPT-5 Pro achieves the highest performance in the GPT-5 family on several challenging intelligence benchmarks, including state-of-the-art performance on GPQ-A, which is extremely difficult science questions. So once again, it's available to everybody right now for free. Kind of nuts to think about. So happy that everybody gets to try this model out. And by the way, we just updated humanity's last prompt engineering guide. This is my team's very own prompt engineering guide updated for GPT-5. It is completely free. I'll drop a link down below in the description. Check it out. Let me know what you think. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.